Today we're going to actually go to John, okay? But I want to get one verse out of Psalms real quick. Let's go to Psalm 145.
Excuse
Psalms 145. All right. Psalm 145 and Mordecai, we're going to go to verse 13. All right. This is just a little intro into, chapter we're going to be dealing with. All right. So Psalms 145, and let's start from verse 13.
Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth through all generations.
All right. So we know his kingdom everlasting. We know his dominion is everlasting. Okay. It's throughout all generations. Read.
Yahweh upholdeth all that fall, and riseth up all those that be bowed down.
Mhm. So all that fall, guess what? Yahweh was there. All right. Us that desire to do good. All right. Even though sometimes we make those mistakes. All right. The Most High is there to uphold us and raise up all those that what? Bow down. Okay. So he is that strength for us. Let's keep going.
The eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou
Mhm.
givest them their meat in due season.
We should believe that. Keep going.
Thou openest thine hand, and satisfies the desire of every living thing.
hmm
Yahweh is righteous in all his ways, and holy in all his words.
And he is. He always been holy and righteous and fair. All right, beloved, always been us that breached the contract. Remember that. We always the one that breached the contract. All
So
right.
I read that wrong. Let me read it again. I
Okay.
said words. It says works. Yahweh is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works.
Yes. Okay. Everything that he does, okay, is righteous, is right. A lot of times our puny minds don't understand what be the will of God. And sometimes we will deem it as not righteous. It's not fair. Okay. But the Most High is always righteous, always fair. And all his works are holy or clean. Okay. And acceptable. Let's keep going. Listen to this one. Read this slowly.
Yahweh is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth.
Beloved, he is not all that call upon him. This is where we talk about that faith. This is where Christ was trying to even get the disciples to understand it, right? Just believe who you're calling on. That's the half the battle is just believing, right? The Lord is nigh, he's near all that call upon him. Beloved, everybody's here. Stop thinking about what you've done and why you're so no. The whole thing about this week, beloved, is getting ourselves clean, recalibrating this mind, right? Not conforming it, transforming this mind. All right. We have to have a transformed mind. Now, when you call upon him, you believe he's not. You're not praying like God is miles and miles and miles and miles and miles away in the sky, right? You're praying and believing that what? He's right there hearing you. And it says, to all that call upon him in what? Truth.
Yep.
See that, beloved? We crying to him, we calling on to him because what? This is why we're doing all this. The Sabbath, thieves, commandments, all these kind of things, because we want to call upon what? In truth. And that's why he's near. This is one of the benefits of doing what thus saith the Lord. All right. Doing what he says to the T, you get the results to the T. Read the next one. Read that slowly as well, Brother Kai.
He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him.
Mm.
He also will hear their cry and will save them.
He will fulfill that desire. All those that desire to get close to him, he will fulfill it. Okay? He will hear their cry and what? Save them. So, beloved, it's very clear what we got to do. Very clear what we need to do to meet God in peace. Read verse 20.
Yahweh preserveth all them that love him,
Mm-hmm.
but all the wicked will he destroy.
Can't get around that. All right. Let's get one more.
My mouth shall speak the praise of Yahweh, that all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever.
And that's strong. Every mouth shall speak the praise. This is what we should be doing, beloved. Whether it's singing, dance, whatever, you should be giving the most high praise all throughout the day. Right? If we are one of those people that just do it in certain time frames, right? All right, well, this is my dedicated time, right? Try to expand that time, right? Try to get it where you're thinking about him throughout the day instead of having a saturated maybe 20 minutes or a half an hour, really just devoting to him, and then the rest of the day you don't think about him, right? We want to increase our faith, increase our walk, increase our spirituality. All right. And that comes through the strength of what? Praising him, thinking about the goodness of the Lord, thinking about what God has done, what he can do, what he will do if we continue to keep him first. Okay. So I wanted to start off with this because we're not doing this stuff in vain, beloved. I know the world don't deem what we're doing as important. They view it as vanity and all those kind of things. But that's what the world's supposed to think. That's what they're supposed to do. Right? This gospel is foolishness to them. But to the believers, to them that know God, we know there's strength in the obedience of his word. All right? We live on that and we'll die on that because we know that all these things, the promise and everything, have to come true. All right. Now let's go to our chapter we want to deal with, and that's in John. Let's go to John 15. And that's it. Y'all got stuff that can bring it out. I'm not bouncing all over the place. I don't think, like I said, I'm gonna actually do the other lesson tomorrow. I'm gonna share these thoughts. I'm going to share these thoughts. All right. Let's go to John 15. John 15. And we're going to start. All right. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing if I want to go up a little bit. Okay. No, we're going to start right at verse 1. We'll start right at verse 1.
I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman.
All right. So Christ is really showing something here. All right. He ain't doing all this mystery stuff. I am the true vine, and my father is the husbandman. All right. He's the one that's directing and doing all these things, taking care of this whole thing. Okay. So once again, if somebody's confused about the divine order, all right, Christ is making this thing clear. My father is not a planner or anything like that. He ain't come no vine. He is the husbandman. He set this whole thing up. Okay. But Christ said, I'm the true vine. All right. Verse 2.
Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
And a lot of times in the scriptures, it has a lot of things with agriculture and things of that nature. And sometimes we can get removed from that because we don't deal with agriculture and animals and stuff like that. But once again, some of these things can be a little simplistic, so ain't have to be too deep into it, right? But every branch in me, and it's the kick, it has to be in him. A lot of people think they can have their own race, they can do their own growth outside of Christ. All right. Understand what he's saying. He said, I'm the true vine. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. Who's the he?
Father.
The Father takes away. You saying you got Christ in there and you don't bear no fruits, take it away. What does that mean? We have to bear fruits. There's no way we're gonna be this thing and not bear no fruits. But it says, in every branch that bear fruit, he purgeth it. For what? What's the purpose of him purging it? That it may bring forth more fruit, beloved. Now, this purging aspect, when you have it with a tree, all right. Anybody, if you have any people that do gardens, you can definitely help me out with this part, right? But you can cut it a certain way and everything, and it promotes growth. And sometimes they will even prune the tree so it will kind of force the growth to happen to a certain, maybe certain stem or whatever, right? But he's saying Father's going to purge it that it can bring forth more fruit. Now, what does that purging look like? Right? On the outside, if you are not, this is the point, if you don't understand gardening and the purging aspect, you might think somebody's actually hurting the plant. You look at it, why are you cutting it up? Why are you messing this up, right? The same thing we talk about the chastising of the Lord. If you don't understand what the Lord is doing, you will think of it as a bad thing. But purging, all right, clipping the branch, that's a good thing. Okay, so he purged it that it may bring forth more fruit. The point of these things is to bring forth more fruit. This, even the 7 days of Feast of Unleavened Bread, if we really tuned in, right, what is he doing? He's trying to purge us. We understand the natural aspect of not eating the leaven, but he's trying to purge the leaven that's within us. For what purpose? So that we can bear more fruit. Are y'all getting it? He wants us to bear more fruit. And I love it because the feast is kind of connected, if you think about it, to agriculture, right? You're talking about the Passover time, right? They bring in the certain things, the sheaves and stuff where stuff is just starting to grow, right? Just starting to cycle. Let's say we have our first feast. And then you get 7 weeks later, you got Pentecost, where it's what? At its blossoming state, right? A lot of growth. And then we got the end, if you do the 3 feasts out the year, tabernacle, where it's like the end harvest. Okay? So just looking at that and connecting these things and seeing what the Father's doing, he's even showing it in the things around us. That's what's beautiful about this word. The things around us is still showing how the Father does things. He leaves his clues and breadcrumbs everywhere for us to see it. All right. But beloved, he desires more fruit from us. Just like any gardener, they want more fruit. They want more production for the harvest. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Verse 3. Let's read this slow.
And you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
You clean through what?
Word.
The what?
The word.
Beloved, that's the way you get clean. Ain't nothing changed. Your pastor, I don't care what they do. You have to be clean through the word. The doctrine means so much, beloved. Right? You can have doctrine that either what? Clean you up, or doctrine that's going to put you more in the filth. That's the two options. Clean you up, get you more in the filth. If you think there is something in between, guess what it is, beloved? It's just another, it's a strong delusion of the filth. There is no in between. Okay? There's no gray area when it comes to this. It's truth, no truth. Okay? So we talk about being clean. You got to be clean according to the word. That's how he's going to check if you are clean. So you can be able to check where you at, beloved. Am I doing things according to the word? When you go and look at this word, is it like, oh man, I ain't doing that, I ain't doing that, I ain't doing that, I ain't doing. That means what? We got some purging to do. Okay? Say no pop quiz. He's giving us the answers. Are you doing this? Okay? So we will be clean through the words which what? He said, I've spoken unto you. Okay? But we know that when Christ is saying this, where is he getting it from? Is this just his words he's thinking on the top of his head and freestyling? Mm-mm. Brother Kai, let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's right in John, like John right before 13. Yep. Hold this. Let's go to John 12. Let's go to John chapter 12. It's at the end. All right. John chapter 12, and we're going to go right to the point. Let's go right to 47.
If any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not. For I come not to judge the world, but to save the world.
If any man hear my words and believe not, he says, I don't judge him. I come. That's what he's saying. I come not to judge. This ain't my job right now to start judging or anything. My job is to save. And some people can grasp this understanding, right? Some people kind of, pervert it a little bit, all right? His job on earth was to what? To be that savior, to be that light. That was his job this time. Next time ain't too much saving, okay? He has to do some things, but this time that's what his mission was. Even for us, beloved, we are coming to try to save. All right? We know knowing that we don't have the power to save, right? But we are encouraging our brothers and sisters to come into this thing. That's what we come to do. I don't want to put all my energy on just dissecting how everybody's not doing what thus said. No. My focus on how can my brothers and sisters that desire God want to get close to God? How can I help them? Our desire should be to what? Save. Okay? If you're doing more condemning than trying to save, you are the issue. You need to purge out that thing in you. Some people are only in the walk because they can condemn somebody else. Say, they're not as good as me. They don't got a great teacher like me. They don't got the word breakdowns like me. Some people are just in it for that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to purge that leaven out of you. We have that same mind Christ had. It's about saving. Yeah, saving sometimes is going to hurt. Sometimes you're feeling stuff like that. But the point, I'm trying to get you to God. Okay? I'm not here to judge. I'm going to tell you what's right and wrong. They ain't judging me. I'm going to let you know. Well, if I was going to be happy about that. My job is to save. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Verse 48. Listen to this.
He that rejecteth me and receiveth not my words, have one that judgeth him.
All right, if you reject, I'm sorry, Brother Kai, you reject him and you reject his words, he says, there is one that judges you. Remember, he said, I'm not judging right now. But he said, if you reject me and my words, there's one that judges them. Let's listen.
The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day.
So you see that catch on it? Hey, I'm not judging you, but guess what? The words that I'm delivering, that's going to judge you. Same thing we're doing, beloved. We just go through the scripture saying, this is what God says. That's what's going to judge you. Brother Mike don't have no power. I'm not judging nobody. I'm not doing none of that. We just telling you, this is what the Lord said. If you want to do it, you see the results of what happens when you do it. If you want to deny it, there's results that come from it. That ain't no judgment. I'm just laying out what, what it says. Let's keep going, Brother Kai, because this is very important.
For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak.
Do y'all understand it? Once again, when you're trying to combine them, he said, I have not spoken of myself. But who? The Father which sent me. He gave me a commandment. That's why it's going to judge you, because it's the Father's commandment. It's the same thing, beloved. It's the same source. That's why it's still it hits on that level. It's the same source. He said, the Father gave me a commandment, what I should what? Say and what I should speak. So he's not coming out just freestyling saying what he wants and do what he wants. No. He says, I am bound by a commandment of my Father. I must parakeet what he tells me to tell you. That's why that word that I'm telling you, he said that thing is going to judge you, not me. I'm just parakeeting to you. But that word is coming from authority greater than I, and that's going to judge you on the last day. Give me verse 15. Let's go back.
And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak.
Right. Pretty clear. All right. And we know the Father's commandment is that it's life everlasting. When we go to Deuteronomy, he said, I set before you good and evil, right? Life and death, you choose, right? When you do the commandments, you are accepting life. That's everlasting life. That was the choice that was back then. Do what the Father said, you will receive life everlasting. It's simple, beloved. Either we're going to do it or not. Father's commandments always been life everlasting. I can't afford not to do what this book says. Some of you can take that and say, I can't afford it. I know some people might get offended by this. I know I got offended by it. But beloved, I used to think when I'm looking, when I used to, watch Noah and I heard the story of Noah when I'm a little kid, I always had thoughts that's I always thought a little outside the box like things, but like, man, why they just go on the boat? If nothing happens, nothing happens. You didn't lose out, but if you're wrong, as they were wrong, they die, you know. And that sometimes it comes up with the phrase, better safe than sorry, those kind of things. But beloved, some of the stuff that we fight on, I just really think about like some of the stuff people fight on. It's like, listen, if the feast is not, I'm just gonna be, if the Sabbath, the feast, let's just throw a lot of stuff. If they were not required, what did it do to you? Did it harm you in no way? No, it taught you to be disciplined. Right? If it didn't do anything, you lost nothing. But if the scriptures is what the scriptures saying, what you gonna do? That's what's tough about this, beloved. All right, let's go to John 15. That's taking a risk. That's the ultimate risk. People worry about the people gambling in Las Vegas and the casinos. Nah, you people gambling with the most precious gift of all, their life, with the ultimate stake at hand. Okay, let's read that verse 3 again.
Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
Now we understand it. So what's clean you? His word, but is it his word? Oh, it's what? Father's word. Okay, let's keep going.
Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me.
Yeah, beloved. He said, abide in me as I abide in you. And another passage talks about disciples being one. He said, be ye one like me and my Father are one. Okay? So as a branch cannot bear fruit of itself, beloved, you cannot bear fruit of yourself. Impossible. You got people claiming that they got the fruits of the spirit, all this kind of stuff, and then they ran into Christ. Nah, you can't bear no fruit unless you run into what? Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody's saying different, they going against the source. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, except you abide in Christ, you can't bear it. So think about this, beloved. If we're not bearing fruit, we're probably not connected to the vine. This is why this purging is so necessary. Because a lot of people are so puffed up, they believe they don't need the vine. They believe they ain't got the vine. They're the vine. They the source. I don't need Christ. This is why Christ was saying, if you don't believe I'm He, if you don't believe I'm the true vine, guess what? You're going to die in your sins. Because you think you can be over there isolated and you can bear fruit yourself. Nah. Go out there, People that have a garden or you get a garden, go ahead and start chopping some stuff off from the vine and see they instantly what? They start to die. I'm not talking about they shrivel up and everything, but that's where death comes in. Right when you snip the vine. Long as they connect to it, they got life. But you go and snip it, it's only a matter of time and what? It's going to be done. Okay. So this is what he's trying to show us. Unless you're connected to the vine. Because the vine gives it what? That water, that nutrients that it needs to grow. Unless you connected to Christ, beloved, you ain't gonna see no growth. You're not gonna see no growth. You could be around this thing, you could hear this stuff all the time, but unless you make up in your mind to serve Christ with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, beloved, it's all for naught. Can't play games with this. Purge out the old leaven within us. Let's keep going, brother guy.
I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing.
Yep, we already explained that. We should know that. Let's keep going.
If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burnt.
Mhm. So what's that branch? You have a tree out there. What's that branch falls off and what? It starts to die. It starts to wither. And then when we see it as a branch, like, oh, no, just stick on the ground. Oh, you got to dispose of it. And that's what we'll do, man. We'll get it, throw it in the fire. It's funny, and maybe it's got that power like my spirit, because the brothers know I've been out here trying to clean out, the yard, but that's one of the things. Finding sticks, gotta get out of the way, gotta throw this in the fire. Saying the same thing with us. If we disconnect from Christ, we're like a branch that broken off, and we what? We start withering. Beloved, I don't think you realize it. You're withering right away. And if you don't reconnect, the good thing we can reconnect back to the vine if Christ allows it. But if not, all we got to look forward to is what? Destruction. That's all it is. Anybody's not connected to Christ, destruction is what you're looking forward to. Let's keep going, Brother Kai. I'm sorry. Did anybody have anything? I told y'all we could talk. I didn't make a lesson. I didn't do, precepts or anything like that. I'm just walking through. You got something, bring it out. All right, let's keep going.
If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you.
Read that again, Brother Kyle.
If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you.
Don't tell me that God ain't hearing you. Are you doing what this word is saying? If we talk about all the time, if it's conditional, if you abide in me, and what? My words abide in you. Beloved, is the word abiding in us, or do we have something else in us? Because we have something in this vessel, beloved. It ain't empty. We got something in this vessel. What is it? A lot of times the things that what? This unleavened bread, right? This feast is dealing with. But people just discarding because they can't get past the, you think God wants you not to eat leaven? They caught up on that. The surface aspect of it. The smallest piece of this thing. But they missed the point that we're bringing out. It's purging out ourselves. What is in man? What is in man that needs to be purged that's defiling him? It ain't the leavened bread that's defiling us, right? Matter of fact, let's go to that. Let's go to that. Go to the part with the unwashed hands.
Mark 7 and Matthew 15.
Matthew 15. That's the one I'm going to Matthew 15 right now. All right, let's go to the Matthew 15, bro. Right. And I won't even mess with them right now. Let's go to let's go to verse 16. Let's go right to it.
And Yahushua said, Are ye also yet without understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and is cast out into the drought?
And the people take this for eating pork and all that kind of stuff. He's not dealing with that, but let's keep going.
But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man.
You worry about everything else. And that's what unleavened bread dealing with. You worry about that part. But the unleavened bread is what? You worry about the purging leaven out of your natural bread, but you forgetting about what? Your body. That's the leaven you got to purge out. We understand Christ is dealing with what he's talking about. These things that come, these that defile the man. And what are these things? Verse 19.
For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man.
And they're going to answer for everybody that struggles with what was actually talking about. He wasn't talking about food. He was talking about people eating without their hands being washed. Because it was a tradition that we wash our hands. You might even see some, what was it, the Orthodox Jews, sometimes they'll have certain ceremonial washings. I think it's like, I don't know what I'm talking about it. I think it's 3 times. I'm not sure I do it. They'll wash it, they'll wash it, and they'll wash it. They always have some kind of connection and ceremonial thing that goes with it. I don't know if I don't know if that came from the Talmud. I don't know if it's dealing with this, but they always have ceremonial things, right? We had ceremonial things. But they were arguing about the unwashed hands. They weren't arguing about food. They were new. We're not touching no stuff that's contrary to dietary law. That's not even their thought. That's for Christianity that deals with that stuff now. That was never these brothers' thoughts with that. Okay. But going back to this, it says those things which proceed out of the mouth, right? Come forth, listen, come forth from where's the source? The heart. What comes out of his mouth starts usually what? Here. This is what defiles you because we talked about that. What that was their class, right? Don't be conformed, but transformed. A lot of people are being conformed in churches. You're just conforming to a different evil. You're blaspheming in a different way. You serving God in a different way than you was used to, but still not according to his word. You have been conformed. But we are agreeing with the scriptures that you must be transformed. And the transformation happened what? In your mind. This is where the spirit is dwelling at, in your mind. If this is defiled, I don't care what you eat. You can fast 40 days and 40 nights. If this is defiled, everything's defiled. And that's the big mission that they're messing up on. It don't have to do with food. If the mind is defiled, it don't matter what you're putting in it. You got the best kosher diet and everything. It won't what? It won't make you clean if this is jacked up. That's what he's talking about. This is what defiles a man. Y'all mind, y'all thinking. And as they try to break this down, they're breaking even what he's talking about. For out of the heart perceive evil thoughts. The first thing you got from this is I can go back to breaking what God told me to do. Isn't that an evil thought, beloved? That's your first thing with this freedom. I want to go because you want to eat that stuff. You miss it. I get it. You get flashbacks. of that pork sizzling. I get it. So when you see this, you think it's liberty. Oh, Christ is opening up the menu again. Oh, praises. Nah, that ain't what he's doing. He's trying to open up this mind of yours that's defiled of why you can't get to where you're getting. You wondering, why am I doing? I'm doing the dietary law, I'm doing the Sabbath and everything, but I feel like I'm not, my fruits is not showing. I feel like I'm not growing. What's happening? He's saying, you got to purge this out. You got to purge this mind out. Let's go back. Let's go back to John 15. All right. Anybody have anything before we move forward? All right, Brother Kai, where we at?
Verse
I'll
8.
spot. My words about you, actually. Okay, yep.
Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples.
Who's glorified?
Father.
He's glorified by what? When we bear much fruit. So why would he try to do something to mess you up from getting it? That means he wants you to get more fruit because what? He's glorified in that. He wants your gift to be manifested and for men and women to see it. So what? That he can get the glory. But a lot of us don't step out on that faith. But this is what the Father wants. He wants to show it off. Because it shows what? It shows how good the gardener is, beloved. I want y'all to connect what he's saying. Think about somebody that does a garden. They get praise on their what? Their production. We went to Elder Aaron's, right? When we did the feast years back. And me and Kai was being greedy, you had the strawberries, they were delicious, right? You don't think he takes pride in that? How much more the Heavenly Father take pride? He took his time to, when you talk about gardening, you got to do stuff, beloved. You don't just throw seeds in there, that's it. No. You till the ground. You got to weed it. You got to protect things from, intruding in it, the animals and stuff out here, right? It takes time, effort. And one of the biggest joys is when what? The fruits bear forth. The manifestation of all the hard work. Look at it. The Father is pushing for us. He wants us to bring forth much fruit. But what is hindering in that? What's hindering that is that we are not purged from the things that we've received from this world, that GMO doctrine, that GMO how to serve God. Right? We got to get purged from that teaching. That's what a lot of us are doing. We still got old teachings that we don't want to get rid of because it's an inconvenience, right? That's all it is. It's an inconvenience. But we have to purge that thing out. Remember talking, beware of the doctrine of the Pharisees. Beware of that doctrine, because that doctrine teaches you unbelief. That doctrine teaches you doubt. It was at a point where God said, I'll do it. And then as time went by, because you didn't abide in the vine, what we started doing? We started throwing all this doubt in there. Maybe God can do it. Well, I don't know. I'll try now. No. He wants to purge that thing out so he can do a good thing. He can work a miracle in our lives. Because some of our connections is thinking, well, I know God can do it, but God can do it for them. I know God can do it for Brother Kai, but I don't know about me. I know he can do it for Mother Val, but I don't know about me. I know he did it for Moses, David, like God worked back there, but nowadays, I don't know how he works. No, we got to purge that. All right? Get our faith together, beloved. This is what he is calling for. This is what the purging is about. Because God wants this fruit to grow. But we got some stuff in us that got to remove. He can't do it. That spirit is not going to fight with that. We got to purge that old stuff out of us and let God start to plant the righteous seeds so that we can bear the fruit. And that's what's starting right now. This is around that time where it's starting to plant. So the first feet, the first fruit, the first feast is doing what? All right, let's make sure it's right. Let's purge it out because there's some junk they got. Let's purge it out. Let's start off on the right foot, and then allow time, right, to grow. So whatever it is, beloved, let it go. I don't know if it's old hurt, if it's old pain, right? We have to let it go so God can do a work. We don't want to be sitting here year after year, not being able to experience the trueness of the Spirit because of what? Something we holding on to, right? It's killing us to hold on to it, but it's also, we can't let it go. There's an unhealthy attachment to a lot of things. Even the doctrine, there's some unhealthy attachments to it. Some people will say they hate it. Oh, that's wicked, but they still can't let it go. All right? But the Most High, He does this as a yearly thing to remind us to let it go. Okay? Anybody have anything? All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, Brother Kai.
Verse 9.
Mhm.
As the Father have loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love.
Continuing it. All right, don't stop, beloved. Even while we love one another, continue that love. Don't let things get in the way from loving your brother and your sister. All right, let's keep going. I ain't gonna over explain it, brother guy.
Good.
I ain't gonna do it. Let's keep going.
If you keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
So he said the same thing. Keep my commandments, abide in love. That's how simple it is. Keep the commandments, abide in love. And what do you see all these so-called churches saying? Get out of commandments, but they want you to abide in love. It don't work that way. The Bible already told you, you got to keep the commandments to abide in the love. So this is an easy test. When somebody trying to remove the commandments, what are they trying to do, beloved? They trying to get you out of the love. Okay? Even as I've kept, listen what Christ said, I've kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. I'm not telling you something that I am not doing. See how you role model that thing for us? Not being no hypocrite. Not tell you something I wouldn't do as your true shepherd, as your leader, as your true high priest, right? Christ said, this is what I did. I'm just telling you to do what I did. Walk in the same path I walk. I ain't telling you nothing to do, just do that. Let's keep going. We're not doing the whole chapter. We're not going to do the whole chapter. Let y'all know.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full.
Mm-hmm.
This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
See that? Beloved, I think we say this a lot, but it's true. This is my commandment. Ye love one another. Listen, as I have loved you. So some people are like, oh, this is a new commandment. It's new to us because sometimes we didn't have the great examples like Christ, right, to show us truly what that love is. But it's an old commandment to love one another. But Christ showed us how to do it properly. We had a lot of teachers that was talking about love, but then not reflecting that. They were showing hypocrisy. So he said, no, I'm going to give you something to look at and to be that great example for you. All right. Love one another as I loved you. And I ain't no excuse. Don't love like, I'm showing you the perfect way to love. He said, follow that. Let's keep going.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
One more.
You are my friends if ye do whatsoever I have commanded. Ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you.
Greater love have no man in this, beloved. The greatest love. You want to know the greater? There's nothing greater than a man to lay down his life for his friends. Now, we know Christ literally laid down his life. But beloved, we can lay down our lives, right? You put your will down, your way down
Mm-hmm.
for that other person. That's love,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? Nah, the brother, I'm gonna go this, I'm gonna go and do this, this, and that. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
brother. Man, I can't do that with you, man. That ain't me, right? Burying that old man. Can't do that. They might not say, oh man, you being corny. You in this world, Satan has blinded you to think that it's being corny. But if your eyes ever be open, you'll understand that I loved you more than all your little knucklehead friends is about to let you go and do whatever you're about to do. It's gonna get you in greater trouble when it comes to the Most High. So, beloved, lay our lives down. And some of that leaven in us is what? Our lives, our will. We have to lay it down. Let our lives be about this walk. That's why I love the old school, beloved. Not all of them had some of the knowledge, but boy, some of the dedication. Some of us can take a note of it. Some of them old saints, they used to be at the church. They used to be at church like 3 or 4 days out the week, right? Having the sales, everything, right? But this is how we got to be. Are we picking this thing up just on the Sabbath? Or are we thinking about this thing throughout the week? It's a difference. Told you this ain't no diet. This is a lifestyle. You think it's a diet, you just like a diet. They usually always fail. But this got to be a lifestyle change, beloved. And he says, ye are my friends if, Malachi made that very clear, if, so that means a condition, if you do whatsoever I command you. So once you step out the will and do something he didn't command, he's saying, nah, we ain't friends no more. All right, so that goes for, oh, God, no matter what we do, he forgives, he does this. He's saying, you ain't even my friend. You ain't doing what I tell you. So, beloved, this is why we try to do exactly what he's telling us to do. Because we want to be a friend. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Verse 15. Verse 15.
Henceforth I call you not servants,
Mhm.
for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you.
Mm. All right, we got to upgrade. You ain't no servant. Just going doing this, doing this, and doing this blindly. He said, no, I gave you understanding. Okay? You heard what the Father, things I'm getting from the Father. I'm making it very clear to you. That ain't how a servant get things, but this is how a friend gets it. Let's keep going.
Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that
Mhm.
whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you.
So, beloved, we're going to read about one or two more, and we're going to kind of end it there. But we have to understand as well. I know he's talking to the disciples, but he's talking to us as well, right? No man, right, come to the Father unless the Father draws him. Beloved, nobody trips into this truth. The Father is drawing us. He wants us to come to this thing. All right. Don't let Satan, don't let yourself, right? Sometimes we're gonna blame Satan, sometimes we're gonna say, don't let yourself get you messed up in thinking that you were not called into this thing. Brother Floyd, I thought I seen that hand. I don't know if you took it away. I don't know if it's an accident or not. What you got?
Yeah, I don't know. Mine does that. It just goes up and goes down real quick. But happy Sabbath, family. There was just one important thing that the word said is if you ask in His name. It's funny that that's the piece that we take so for granted. Remember, He's the Word. So the word is his name, and they go intertwined. So if you're outside of that word, you're not asking in his name. So when the homosexual asks for certain things, and they say they're one of God's children, or the thief asks and they say he's one of God's children, the liar asks and he says he's one of God's children. Us with the bad attitude of respect of persons, all those things that we do that are outside of God's word, they're not in his name. So we want to do all we can to get into his name and repent daily and keep looking at ourselves in the mirror and understanding where our shortcomings is. Because if we're working on those things, then we become his. Right? We don't have to be perfect per se, but if we're looking at ourselves and examining ourselves daily, then we're his. But if we're living a foul life outside of his word, outside of his instructions, and we think we're in him, that's where the piece that we're missing. So he says anything we ask in his name. So we have to make sure that we're staying in his name. But I'll leave it there. Shalom.
Great point. Great point out. Mhm. You have not chosen me. I chose you and ordained you, right? I appointed you. Listen, that you should go and bring forth fruit. So we see the working now. You're gonna bring forth fruit. And what? Not just bring forth it, but listen, beloved, because this one people get caught up. I'm gonna get in there, that zeal, I'm gonna do this thing, but what? And that your fruit should remain. A lot of times people get souped up, right? You went to the gym maybe January. All right, I've been to the gym a while, right? But the guy goes to the gym. In January is usually what? It's packed. Everybody got their little New Year's resolution and stuff like that. You go now, a lot of them, probably 50% dropped off.
Mhm.
And that's that. It ain't about how fast you start the race, beloved. You need to endure some endurance. Okay? So with this one, he wants the fruit to remain, beloved. So this is why we get these yearly reminders on top of our weekly come together and stuff to what? To purge it out so the fruit can remain.
Mhm.
Okay? Because some of us probably seen some manifestations of fruits, but guess what? It went away because we didn't remain connected to the vine. And Brother Floyd, broke the second part down perfectly, right? Ask in my father's name. And that name can be dealing with what? That word, that authority. Because he said, what? I got it all from the Father. So you got to ask, you got to do it according to what? The words my father presented. You have to do it according to the word. Okay? And what? He's going to give it to you. You see the absolute, beloved, that comes with the scriptures? It ain't no maybe, might, I'll try. It's a good chance. It says you do this, you get this result. So that makes it very plain. If there's a shortcoming, it has to be in what? Us. That's a time to reevaluate and say, all right, I got to purge something out. It's maybe something I looked over. Let me purge that out so that what? The fruit can happen, beloved. And sometimes it's not a lot of things, beloved. Sometimes it's the small, the scripture say the small vines, right? Or the small foxes, right? So when we're looking at those kind of things, beloved, this is why we purge ourselves out. We want to purge out from all the leaven. There's some big leaven, right, that we probably know of, but there might be some fine ones that we don't know about, some small fine ones that we don't even consider. But when we are coming to the Most High, when we're praying, guess what? It says the Spirit intercedes for us. So sometimes Brother Mike might be praying, Lord, I see this problem right here. I'm going to ignore the big problem. I'm praying this problem be removed. However, might be something else that I ain't even think about. But guess what? The Spirit will intercede for me if I mean well. That's the thing. If you mean well, the Spirit will intercede. Right? And this is why purging that leaven out is so, so important. All right, Brother Kai, let's finish this up. All right, give me 17 and 18.
These things I command you, that ye love one another.
Mm-hmm.
If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
All right. His commandment was what? You love one another. How do you know you're the disciple? It says how you love one another. That's the commandment. My job is to love you, beloved. Okay? Tell you the truth, right? But my job is to love you. You struggling? I'm here to what? My job is to love you, to pray for you. That's love. Pray for you. What can I do? Okay? I'm not coming here to be a big condemner. No. We just speak the truth and say we gotta all strive for it. but we are commanded to love. That part's not even optional. He said, these things I command you, love one another. And that's what we want to do. When we hear something about it, Brother Kai, I'm going to use Brother Kai's example this time, right? We hear something about Brother Kai. Kai was going there doing something. My job is to what? Love that brother. Now, loving that brother is not co-signing on that brother's weakness. No, I ain't saying that, right? But when I hear something about Brother Kai, first thing is, if I'm hearing it from definitely another saint here is, well, did you pray for that brother?
Mm-hmm.
And what you come to me for? Are we about to try to find a solution, find peace, and find a way to help this brother? Nah, I think see, you just there to gossip. See, that's part of that person. I got, I ain't about that. Some of us can't stop somebody, right, from putting that filth. We talked to brother earlier about it. Some people throwing that filth and everything. And you have to be strong and able, beloved. Definitely if it's tearing somebody down, you got, I can't be part of that. My job is to love them right now. You want me to what? Hate them. Okay? So, beloved, we are commanded to love one another. But to love somebody properly is not natural according to this flesh. You catch what I'm saying? It's not natural according to this flesh. So this is why we need the Spirit to learn how to love properly. And some of that's even the forgiveness. Brother Kai might hate me, right? He might say all these bad things, right? Talking to sis. Michael think he's this and that. I don't even like Michael, right? Unless they come back to me. Okay. My job is not to, well, I don't like Kai. I don't think, nah. My job is to what? Love that brother. Right? My job is not to keep it going. That's the hatred. Trying to keep things going. If there's a problem, stop it here. And that's why, beloved, we are going to be the peacemakers. That's why we should be seeking peace in every situation, showing love in every situation. Okay, but we have to understand what love looks like. All right, but to really walk in the Spirit, we have to fill this mind with love. Hate has no place in this walk. Well, but Michael, what about they doing this? And what about they constantly trying to hurt me or hurt people I love and everything? No, I can't. You can love somebody, you got to distance yourself. I didn't say you can't distance yourself. They don't have to have access to you and all that stuff to love them. Some people, that's the best form of love is your absence. Okay? We actually let's leave it there. Let's stop it there. Okay? So, beloved, we know we're going to be hated. We know the world's job is to hate. Our job is to love. This is why we are at enmities with one another. Okay? They are trying to destroy God's program. We are trying to what? Preserve it. All right? It's going to be preserved whether we do it or not. But the scripture said we fight for the truth. Okay? Even upon death, we fight for the truth. Knowing that we have a King of all kings that has our back in any situation that we may be in. And beloved, it's a small token for us to remove the leaven out of the home. Hopefully the Father seeing our sacrifice, for people don't even realize that it's a sacrifice, right? Not eating that leaven this week. That hopefully the Father sees what our heart. Father, see that we are doing this thing, asking that you do the same thing to our mind, our spirit, that you purge it out. All right? That we can be a new lump in you. All right? What we got, beloved? I'm in it there, but you got something we got.
Good luck, you brother Mike. It's an incredible lesson. And again, this will be the last thing I'll say. I don't like to interrupt too much because
Nah, you good.
you're doing a fantastic job. But when you talked about somebody bringing you that noise about Brother Kai, and I don't think we understand what seeking peace means. Like sometimes it's undoing the uncomfortable things, right? Somebody bring you noise and they bring in something and we think, oh, I got to be quiet about it. Or I don't want to say nothing. Or the Christian way is to not bring it. No, it's actually, hey, let's go get that brother. Let's go handle this. Wait, what's your issue with them? Let's bring y'all two together. Sometimes it's the uncomfortable thing that we should supposed to do to bring peace, right? But sometimes we choose the easy thing, and that's not what we're supposed to be about. We're really supposed to be the peacemakers, which means I might have to bring these brothers together, or I might have to say something that's uncomfortable to bring peace, so people know not to bring you nonsense and noise. But again, we got to understand it's not always the comfortable, easy thing. It's actually sometimes the most uncomfortable thing to do that we should be doing. So,
I'm on mute, sorry. I said, amen, amen. My brother Floyd, once again, brought out. This walk ain't always going to be easy and convenient, beloved, but it's going to be worth it. That's all I can say. It will be worth it. All right. Anybody else have anything to bring out? I told you I was ended there on my end. Did anybody have anything? You close out this feast. All right. Um, well, beloved, we made it. All right. Song say he allowed us to come together one more time. And I don't think I don't want to take that ever for granted, um, for being able to see y'all. Right. So I am so glad that the Most High, and sometimes that's a level I have, and sometimes it's not taking, taking for granted the goodness of the Lord, and sometimes not praising Him. But I thank the Most High that, I get to see y'all. I look forward to seeing y'all. And I thank God that He preserves y'all week in and week out because He don't have to. He can take our lives any day without any explanation. We got to accept His will. But I want to praise Him that, He allowed us to see each other another time. We're able to enjoy another feast together, for another year. These are beautiful, beautiful things the Most High is doing for us, and I want to make sure um, I make that known. All right. Sometimes I feel like I sometimes can be humble, and I know as a teacher, I go and teach things, but giving God more the praise in certain situations, even with certain people. Sometimes I be a little quiet and humble, but sometimes maybe I need to be more bold with it as well. So um, I definitely want to step out more in that faith and ask God to continually strengthen me and strengthen all my brothers and sisters. That the fruit of the Spirit definitely shines with us and grows within us. Because that's the Father being glorified in us when that happens. All right, beloved. So once again, we'll close it there. We'll close it there. Um, um, Ending our holy day, but entering right into another one. So um, we will, Lord's willing, see everybody tomorrow.